All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Perrin Brewing Company, and they're out of Comstock Park, Michigan. And this is their Grapefruit IPA. So this is an American IPA that is brewed with grapefruit, comes in at 5% alcohol by volume, 35 IBUs at the time of review. I have no idea how old this can is, but this can was sent to me by a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx. So Jeff, if you want to post in the comment section how fresh this is, I would appreciate it. But I know you usually get your stuff pretty fresh, so I can't see this being older than 3 months old, and this is probably in the month, maybe 6-week range, so I'm going to say it's relatively fresh. And also, I want to give a huge thanks to Jeff because he hooked me up with not only this beer, but a bunch of other beers and another recent beer mail. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that includes all 11 beers he sent my way. He called that a small box. I don't know what your definition of small is, Jeff, but it's not 11 beers. But I do appreciate it, buddy. And yeah, I've had quite a few different Perrin fruited IPAs. I think I had their blackberry one, their cherry one, and they're solid. Was it the blackberry one I did blind that Jeff sent my way? And I thought it was like a raspberry IPA or a cherry IPA. It was something like that, and I wasn't digging it doing it blind. So I think Jeff sent this one to me because I've mentioned before that I'm not a huge fan of grapefruit, like the real fruit itself. But when it comes to grapefruit IPAs, I dig them. Something about them is very refreshing and enjoyable. So I'm hoping this one kind of fits the bill. And yeah, we'll give it a pour, see what we got going on here. Oh man, that's pouring out super hazy, almost like a New England style. Now, I think most of these are just like American IPAs from Perrin. So I think that's probably the grapefruit itself. So yeah, that pours out super like a deep tangerine color to it. Very murky and turbid, as I said, about a half finger of a really creamy white looking head. That looks beautiful. That looks like a beer that would contain grapefruit, honestly. Let's get a nose on it. Yeah, really nice, soft grapefruit in here. It's a little bit sweeter. I don't know what kind of grapefruit. If I had to guess, I'd say ruby red. It has a little bit more sweetness to it. And then there's a decent caramel undertone on this one as well. Like the malt base, I feel like they're using like crystal malt or caramel malt or something. A little bit of hop characteristics. I'd say more citrusy, like an orange tangerine type of thing. And you could also just say grapefruit in general because it's not only brewed with grapefruit, but I'm sure the hops are given off a grapefruit characteristic in the nose as well. Yeah, it smells super refreshing, easygoing, like I'm going to be able to take down this can in record amount of time. Yeah, it smells pretty good. So cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. Yeah, it's nice. Ooh, you get a hit with the nice tart acidic grapefruit vibe on the back of the palate. That's cool. It doesn't have a lot of complexity. Like as I'm drinking this, the first thing that hits you is that this actually has a really nice body and mouthfeel to it. 5%, this is lower side of medium body, but the mouthfeel is softer and smoother and even a little bit of creaminess that I wouldn't expect from, I guess this line of beers. Like I said, I've had I think it was their cherry IPA and their blackberry IPA, and I remember them just being straight on American IPAs that crisp, relatively clean, and just like vibrant on the palate from a carbonation standpoint. And this one drinks mouthfeel wise like a New England style IPA. A little bit more carbonation than that, but like leaning more towards New England style than American. But on the palate, yeah, grapefruit is omnipresent. Like I said, it's a soft tart grapefruit, a little bit of sweetness from it, mostly tart, and then it's relatively acidic too on the palate. It's kind of in the back of the throat now. It's building up. I feel like maybe I'll get heartburn at the end of this. I don't know. A little more of that citrus component I was talking about, like orange, tangerine, things like that. There's a little bit of like an earthiness on the back of the palate too, probably coming from the hops. And there's an underlying caramel component as well, which you look at a beer like this, you wouldn't think there would be any really caramel, caramel malt component to this one, but totally is there. Yeah, super easy to drink. Nice flavors, lacks complexity, but I guess when you're going for a grapefruit IPA, you don't need to be bold and in your face. I enjoy this one, but this one's kind of like the rest of the Perrin fruited IPAs. It's good, but it's not great. It's a solid beer. So the best I can do on the Perrin Brewing Company's Grapefruit IPA would be a high 3.5 out of 5. I'm gonna go 3.6 out of 5. I dig it. it'd be super refreshing in this weather. Like, you know, it's basically summer now, and yeah, it's warm out. Could crush a couple of these and have no problems doing so. They did have a write-up on the back, I think. It says, our thirst-quenching Grapefruit IPA has become Michigan's warm weather requirement for a balanced and refreshing craft beer with aromas of citrus and tropical fruits, delicate grapefruit tartness, and a sweety malt backbone ending in a clean finish. This IPA is the first of its kind. Cheers to short sleeves and long days. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much spot on. I didn't really get the tropical fruit, but yeah, it has a little bit of malty sweetness. Like I said, a little bit more caramel than anything. But yeah, really easygoing beer. I think this is very approachable for a lot of different craft beer drinkers. Obviously, if you don't like grapefruit, you probably wouldn't care too much for this. But if you do, then, you know, I think you'd have no problem drinking this one. So like I said, 3.6 out of 5 for Perrin's Grapefruit IPA. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Thank you once again, Jeff, for hooking me up with this one. Jeff, if you also want to post, I guess just a huge post in the comment section, but if you want to let me know the price point on this, I feel like this one's probably in the $2 range a can, maybe like a $10.99 six-pack type of deal. Maybe a little bit more expensive, but I feel like it's around maybe $2.25 a can. Let me know if that's correct. And also, I'd imagine availability, wherever Perrin gets distribution in Michigan, you probably can find these. And I'd imagine it's a spring/summer seasonal based on the whole write-up on the back. So let me know if I'm correct on any of that or all that. Maybe none of it. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. Thanks again, Jeff. To the next one. Cheers.